that virus made a lot of students go inside their houses and learn online. And my goodness, there were a lot of problems. Those students had to face a lot of problems, and as a student, I had to face those problems too. So I really wanted to find solutions for these problems.
I think today is a very historic moment because today we will be introducing the first ever group of young researchers in Sri Lanka who will be presenting 15 researchers today.
The content of your written report is also reflecting that you went very deep, and to understand, to give definitions, to reference everything, you structured it in a very professional manner.
So their whole program in the schools are built for empathy. And I would love to see how your result is done in comparison to that actually. Now I'm thinking myself.
These kids may be junior researchers today, but they definitely will be prodigies tomorrow. They may present a science experiment today and a cure for cancer tomorrow. A drop of rain today, the entire ocean tomorrow. The endless possibilities that an opportunity like this opens knows no bounds.
I had some questions about color, like why people have their own favorite color, and are they considering about that when doing selections in their day-to-day life, and also how color influence in marketing.
So your parents are really struggling actually. The kids should, you know already that. So you feel that issue. So during, with that such a hard conditions, we really appreciate you did a great job. So, and once again, a big applause for all of you.
I think today is a very historic moment because today we will be introducing the first ever group of young researchers in Sri Lanka who will be presenting 15 researchers today. Though this concept is kind of normalized in the Western world, this concept is pretty new to Sri Lanka. So, and Whyteleafe Academy as a place where it always tries to initiate something new in Sri Lanka and tries to introduce some new concept to Sri Lanka. For an example, during the past few years, we introduced the Whyteleafe Young Entrepreneurship Challenge as well as a critique competition. So just like that, Whyteleafe took steps into initiating this Whyteleafe Children's Research Symposium. So, this project was followed carefully by detailed concept of Mr. Nalika Swanakilaka, who is the director as well as the founder of Whyteleafe Performing Arts Academy. Also, Dr. Sisira Vitanachi was the person who supervised and guided everyone through this whole project. So, you and I are here today to witness the wonderful outcomes of this project, which happened over a time period of 1 year and 8 months.
Hello attendees, I hope you can hear me. It is truly a privilege to welcome you this evening. For the very first time ever in Sri Lanka, the Whyteleafe Academy presents to you the Whyteleafe Children's Research Symposium, where 20 children will present 15 researches they did on various timely topics. Along with our sincere appreciation, we would like to welcome Dr. Sisira Itanachi from Germany, our research supervisor, who dedicated his time and energy for more than 1 year to guide our children. We are very pleased to be able to welcome to our midst the esteemed panel of international research experts, Mohammad Tahir Gori from the Netherlands and Afghanistan, Sibili Berman from Germany, Pamela Alsose from Mexico, Siat Gay from Gambia, Raghav Shublu from Australia, Dr. Soren Kupka from Germany, Dr. Horden Leonardo Nainggolan from Indonesia, Robin Lindberg from Sweden, Aipere Otenchiva from Kyrgyzstan, and Mahak Agarwal from the USA and India. Your valuable presence is welcomed with our utmost gratitude. We would also like to welcome Mr. Nalaka Swarnatilaka, the director of the Whyteleafe Academy, whose far-sighted ideas led us here this evening to create history on behalf of all the children here in Sri Lanka. We would warmly welcome the members of staff and parents to proudly witness these children present their ideas. And finally, a loving welcome to the young researchers and their friends who have joined today. We are extremely proud of the Whyteleafe junior researchers for the courage they showed us by taking on the challenging yet educational task. Through the processes of choosing a topic to do their research, looking for loopholes in research, collecting data amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, and writing their reports and getting ready to do their presentations today, they have been strong risk takers and they overcame all the obstacles that they met on their way. These children are between the ages of 12 to 18, and it took them about 1 year to complete this, which means the youngest started thinking of the loopholes in research when they were about 11. These kids may be junior researchers today, but they definitely will be prodigies tomorrow. They may present a science experiment today and a cure for cancer tomorrow. A drop of rain today, the entire ocean tomorrow. The endless possibilities that an opportunity like this opens knows no bounds. So, without further ado, we wish a very warm welcome to each and every one of you. Enjoy.
So the first research topic is struggles kids face when learning online. And the junior researcher who is going to present that is Suvin Dasanayaka.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Suvin Dasanayaka, and my research topic is struggles kids face when learning online. I hope that no technical problem will come inside my presentation, and I hope that you can hear me clearly well. So, the month of December in the year of 2019 was the birth month of the COVID-19 virus, and that virus made a lot of students go inside their houses and learn online. And my goodness, there were a lot of problems. Those students had to face a lot of problems, and as a student, I had to face those problems too. So I really wanted to find solutions for these problems. So I chose this topic.
Okay, just to start all over again. I said, first of all, I would like to congratulate Sweden for the brilliant presentation. His presentation was really amazing. And for me, the topic is really, really very interesting, very timely.
These are the points gathered from focus groups interviews. Each focus group had a separate set of questions. Most parents believe that it depends on whether you want to get a degree for free or paid. Parents working in the government sector believe that it is an important exam, whereas the parents working in private sector believed that it is not a priority. Instead of focusing on the cost, some had thought about the time taken to complete a degree at a state university, as it's very time-consuming. 90% of the participants knew that it is possible to do a private degree without sitting for GCE A-levels. Industry experts mentioned that sometimes the students who come from private universities are more forward and have better communication skills, which increases the demand for them. Based on the information collected, I was able to summarize them up according to each role in this research. Majority of the parents believed that doing GCE A-levels is the best part as it covers a vast area and students can gain a lot of knowledge, which helps them in the degree program. Some also believe that it is a waste of money to do a private degree when you can do it for free, although it is time-consuming in a state university. But students have quite a different thought than the parents. They believe that spending 2 years for a highly competitive examination is a waste of time and effort. They also believe that skipping GCE A-levels helps them to complete a degree quickly, which is beneficial as you can start your career life much faster. However, academics believe that doing or skipping GCE A-levels does not affect a student's success rate. But a student who skipped GCE A-levels must put extra effort and cover up the A-levels knowledge in 6 months from the foundation course. Industry experts do not make a huge hassle on whether the candidate has done GCE or not, because either way, both have completed a degree. They mainly focus on the performance and suitability of the job role.
Yeah, Ms. Wansa, I'm really agree with that, the Robin points, because it's quite critically mentioned that's what you could expect and that, and I'm really glad that, because I don't know how fair I'm giving comments on this, because we had 1.5 year already experience throughout the project. So so the presentation is really good and your research focus is okay, and also the construction is okay. But as Robin mentioned, that we also think about that like a short-term answers in such very I mean, this topic is quite hot and quite important in many perspectives, and rather we are going more in deep in academic research, but at the policy stage, as a consultant stage. So maybe in future, Suhansa, you may have to give kind of like quick answers, and which maybe they're expecting from government bodies or some international organizations or NGOs and IGOs. So therefore, quite interesting that you think about that, giving like instant answers. I mean, that's, you could do that. I mean, you creatively, because you know really the situations surrounding that, and you know that issue, and maybe you could think about that. What could be the answers that you could give in such at the point?
So from all those results, I came to a conclusion that even though there are many resources and ways that this predicament can be solved, but because of the carelessness of the authority and the society, this problem just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Solutions. So I have come to 3 solutions which I believe if we practice, we can minimize the impact of garbage. The first one is creating more recycling centers. Recycling centers are actually present in Sri Lanka in many places, but they aren't much practical. For example, if a person in a bus in Sri Lanka drinks a bottle of water, he wouldn't just go out there and put it into a recycling bin. He would just throw it out of the window and no one would even care about it. So recycling centers isn't much of a practical thing in Sri Lanka. But I believe if we can create more recycling centers and make our home a recycling center where we recycle, reduce and reuse garbage, this impact can actually reduce.
I really love your presentation. It shows a very relevant topic. And then you proceeded like a real researcher. You defined first what you're researching on. You explained what means disposing garbage. You explained the different ways of disposing garbage. You had clear objectives. And I was really amazed about your presentation. That was really, really good.
The awareness on communication skills within the age group 10 to 18 was at a higher level.
And among the tested group, the awareness on teamwork skills is also at a higher level.
The awareness on empathy skills within the age group 10 to 18 is also in a higher level.
The awareness on time management skills between the age group 10 to 18 is also at a higher level.
And the awareness on leadership skills within the age group 10 to 18 is also in a higher level.
As you saw in the above pie charts, you saw that even though a child knows what the soft skills mean, the percentage of the children who practice these soft skills are really low.
With the results that we got from our research, we found out that most Sri Lankan children are aware of soft skills. But the practical usage of these soft skills in day-to-day activities is at a lower level.
So their whole program in the schools are built for empathy. And I would love to see how your result would stand in comparison to that, actually, now when I'm thinking to myself. And I know that there is at least one or two Ashoka empathy schools. No, they're not called that. They're called Ashoka Changemaker schools. I know that there are at least one or two in Sri Lanka. So that would have been interesting also. It has nothing to do with your research, but I just find it interesting when I'm reading this. So that's my feedback also. And if you have an answer on why you picked those specifically, I would love to hear it. Those empathy, communication, leadership, time management, teamwork, and the practical one also. Thank you.
I think I have an answer for that. Mostly in Sri Lanka, we do not see these 5 main soft skills in our friends. Like, even though they have these soft skills, they have the knowledge about it, they know about it, but they do not use it when a practical situation takes place in their lives, and that's the reason why we chose these 5.
What do you feel about the color blue?
For me, it's a calming color. It's a color of sea, color of water. It brings me peace, calmness.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. And let's see whether your feeling will match with my findings at the end. We live in a world of colors. Every color affects our mood, reaction, and feelings. Colors can make us feel happy, sad, angry, or relaxed, and so on. These different moods, which is created by color, is called color psychology. I had some questions about color, like why people have their own favorite color, and are they considering about that when doing selections in their day-to-day life? And also, how color influence in marketing?
Yeah, thank you for this nice presentation. You have very good presentation skills. You try to engage us as evaluators by posing a question. So this is a very good trick. Also, you can for using it in your future professional work as well. The structure of your work is very well done. You have all the important chapters and sub-chapters that are important for any academic work. You showed your results nicely in colorful graphs. I liked it a lot. And what I found interesting regarding your results is that red is people consider red as have it as a sign of anger, and 45% of your respondents answered that it's associated with the anger. So this I find it very interesting, because as you know, in the marketing, red is considered to be a very powerful color. So but there are interesting these are interesting results, because they show that color perception might be different depending on the culture, maybe. So thank you for presenting your work, and congratulations.
I decided to do this research because I have seen many videos, pictures, and articles about the difficulty that animals and humans face due to plastics and polythene. So I thought of finding methods to reuse non-biodegradable materials. I also wanted to learn the way of reducing the usage of plastics and polythene.
Just start by saying that was very good. Excellent work. Your presentation was very clear. Your written writing was also so. Actually, I actually agree with Dr. Ghori on a lot of the things he said, and even about the awareness part of things in terms of feedback, and also that your research is quite relevant. And the first time I traveled to Sri Lanka was also to conduct research on waste management and how to create basically livelihoods for waste collectors. So definitely very impressive what you've done, and I like how you also personalized your report, talking about your passion for the environment, and also good to see the observations that you made about different people reacting to your research, being it in terms of what sort of things people are consuming, consumption patterns, or waste that's being generated. And
lumber prices skyrocketed up to an all-time high in May, driven by historical levels of demand. The scale of human impact is astonishing, says Thomas Crowther, an ecologist at the Netherlands Institute of Ecology in Wageningen, who led a study that found that 15 billion trees are cut down each year. And that's a problem. Trees and herbs are a huge part of a bird's diet. Losing trees means that the birds lose their habitat as well as most of their food. There are many sanctuaries and parks protected from deforestation. And with all the birds losing their habitats, we should have to think about relocating them into the protected sanctuaries and parks of Sri Lanka. But before that, I'd love to thank Dr. Shalindra Kasun Dayananda, Professor KMG Kehan Jayasuriya, Dr. Kamalavarna Hirath, and Professor Sampath S. Vistarana for not only stating their opinions on the topic, but also giving me some tips as well as guidelines to follow. I've learned a lot from these individuals, and I'm very thankful for what they have done to me.
Yes, I'll start. Thank you very much for a wonderful presentation. Yes, first of all, I'd like to congratulate on the appealing title, and I think it's something that a lot of our senior colleagues are lacking, is to create an appealing title to capture the attention of the reader and the audience. So very well done here. Also, the topic, of course, is very relevant, and I think you did a very good job in explaining that it's not only it's not only birds that are here of relevance, but also that conservation is necessary throughout the ecosystem. I think that is a very important point. I also liked how you approached this in terms of research, that you did these expert interviews. Maybe you could have mentioned this more thoroughly in the methodology section of your report, how much interviews you did and how long they were, and the actual status of the researchers. But I thought that was a very good approach.
E-learning is a computer and network-enabled transfer of skills and knowledge. This process includes the internet, externet, audio and video tape. Also includes media in the form of image, text, animation, streaming video and audio. This technology-enabled instructional method is aimed to improve quality of education.
So, the research which chose to carry out aims to answer the question, is e-learning suitable for school students in Sri Lanka, and how has it been affecting them?
I really respect the presentation that has been done. The COVID-19 pandemic has had a tremendous impact on all aspects of people lives in around of the world. The economic, social, and other community conditions are also affected, including the learning process required it be done online. The research carried out is very good, especially by young researchers. I am sure in the future you will become a reliable researchers. In your work, I see two research objectives. The first, find out has suitable and applicable is learning for school children in Sri Lanka. And the second research objective, find out how learning has been affecting school children in Sri Lanka. It also suitable for the purpose to be sharpened and emphasis to be find out how learning has affected the academic achievement of children's schools in Sri Lanka. This is the first suggestion for me.
If I talk about findings, 80% of the population who eat out are below 39 years. So we all know that below 39 years are the strongest people in the country. So 39% to 46% of the male population either eat out or more often or consume fast food and street food. 74% of the population who are below 39 years do not or rarely engage in exercise. So when we go to the next question, I asked them, do you skip your breakfast? So nearly a quarter of the respondents skip their breakfast as a habit. You can see 23% of the respondents skip their breakfast as a habit.
I'm really impressed by the quality of your work. It looks really professional with all the structure, references, proper referencing, and even theoretical framework, which is even often lacking by senior researchers. So congratulations, you did a great work. This topic is very important, not only for Sri Lanka, but also for the entire world. And there is little data existing in the on the dietary patterns in low and middle income countries like Sri Lanka or Kyrgyzstan, where I come from. So collecting more data, how people eat and what is their habits regarding their food diet is really important for us to understand and to, as you made in your title, to prevent the wrong dietary habits. And it's you also have your personal motivation for this work. You cook very well, regardless of your young age. I'm really impressed by your abilities, not only study well, but also cook well.
And my suggestions to the world is to reduce cutting trees so animals have habitats and they can live happily, and prevent from dumping garbage and waste products to animal habitats. Some animals are when we are dumping garbage for animal habitats, those animals are thinking that they are food and they are going to eat them, and after eating them they can be poisoned for them and they'll die, and that's a very bad thing. Restrict hunting down animals. By restrict hunting down animals, we can protect them. In mainland Sri Lanka, many hunters are there and they are hunting animals like deers, rabbits and leopards. And this is a very bad thing and we must restrict them. And setting up more national parks, by setting up more national parks, we can increase the number of those animals and protect them and keep them safe, and protect the lives of the animals, especially animals in threat. And this is the end of my presentation. Thank you all for listening, and Ayubowan.
Thank you. Really a great topic, actually. I think nowadays we need to show up and do the research on the kind of topics related that you did, and to show to the decision makers and the because part of the problems comes from the, as you also mentioned, from the human actions, like the deforestation and like we harm the environment. That's why there some of these animals, they are close to the extinction. And actually there is also some solutions ongoing, like most of the countries, they nowadays and go for nature-based solutions. And as I was involved in the kind of research, part of the benefit is to keep the animals that we need in the environment through, and also it was good to, I like the points you showed as results and what to do and to prevent this problem, and the deforestation, global warming, and loss of habitats. So all of these three can be are in the hands of the part of them are in hands of the human and human activities.
We decided to do this research because some children in the society, including our friends and neighborhood, are suffering from obesity, malnutrition, and are also having lots of diseases. We wanted to find out why that was.
Research area. Our research area has 16 cities in and around of Colombo. It is the metropolitan city of Sri Lanka. All are in urban areas.
Great, really well done. Yeah, I think was a very good thing that you followed your personal interest. You know, in asking yourself, why are so many of our friends obese? And this is not just a personal matter for you. That is important to many people. And you started right away with a very detailed description of what food, of what nutrition is. And I really liked your first picture with all the plates there and the curtains waving around. So it immediately kept my attention. That was really good.
In the group of preschool teachers, 4 pedagogic methodologies were found used by the majority. Furthermore, there were 2 teaching methods called Reggio Emilia method and Montessori method that's being used by some of the preschools. I suggested 4 teaching methods in the teacher's questionnaire for standard teaching practice, and the highest percentage, which was 38%, has recommended group activities as the most effective method.
Yeah, thank you very much for the wonderful presentation. I think that it's obviously a very important topic to deal with preschool education. And I was really surprised and astonished that what you found out is really also a very hot topic or very political topic, because the standards of preschool teaching are very relevant to many national contexts, not only in the Sri Lankan context, but it's also a matter of debate among educators all over the world. So I find it very impressive that you've come to this important conclusion, that it is to be desired that you get a kind of standard here for preschool education, so that every child can get the chance to have a quality education, and not the ones that are lucky to have have highly motivated preschool teachers. So very interesting.
Moving on to results. According to the analysis, we found that 69% who were questioned in this research has got an unreadable prescription, which means that in Sri Lanka, there are some doctors who write unreadable prescriptions. And next, we found that 40% who were questioned have faced inconveniences because of doctors' unreadable handwriting, which is harm done by doctors to the society. From every 30 patients, one patient gets injured because of doctors' unreadable handwriting. And again, it's a harm done by doctors' unreadable handwriting.
According to this research, we discard four main problems caused by this doctor's unreadable handwriting. The first one is causing inconvenience to patients, and the second one is causing injuries for patients, and the third one is causing sicknesses for patients and causing death. And also, we found some reasons for this doctor's unreadable handwriting. The main reason for this is the higher number of patients that a doctor should check daily, and also another reason is hard practices that doctors get in universities, and also there are many more reasons.
Nice work. I congratulate you, both of you, on conducting and targeting such an important community issue. And when I saw the topic, I was really became interested and reminded that how in some of the countries we forget about this issue, and because it's really a common problem in my country of origin, Afghanistan, as well, with a kind of definite reason that I will tell you at the end. So, but first of all, through the document and the paper, you did a good job in writing it and academically, and referencing and different sections. And I like the objectives, and I feel that the kind of objectives you made for yourself helped you to reach a good result at the end. And that's why the researchers are also super clear and with good results.
Now let me give you a brief introduction to the television in Sri Lanka. So television in Sri Lanka dates back to 1979, and the first TV channel was Independent Television Network, which is also known as ITN. And then Sri Lankan Rupawahini Corporation was introduced, which is also known as SLRC. Later, some private TV channels were introduced, and at present, there are more than 30 registered TV stations in the country.
Thank you, Senadi. Thank you for this presentation. Congratulations again. Very engaging. Like really impressed by your presentation skills. Again, really clear and dynamic. And this is a very important topic, and really appreciate that you took the time to dig into in a very professional way. The content of your written report is also reflecting that you went very deep, and to understand, to give definitions, to reference everything, you structured it in a very professional manner. And I really think that it's quite important to start shaping the mindset on a healthy way from children who are the future. Many times we see that the content also for adults say this are really low content and it's not helping anyone. So again, congratulations for tackling this topic.
First, distance learning methods and its views. There were 5 main distance learning methods conducted in Sri Lanka, which are live online lessons and recorded lessons done by teachers, sending assignments via WhatsApp or Viber, watching educational TV programs or videos on YouTube, and picking up study packs from school, which was mostly done in the first few weeks of lockdown. and children's learning methods regarding those and children's view regarding those learning methods were varied. Most learning methods had moderate success.
Yeah, thank you very much for your presentation. This is, of course, a very relevant topic, and I found it was extraordinarily well presented. Both the presentation here and the report was very accessible, and I found this very extraordinary. Also, I really like the research design, how you managed to focus on these three areas of online teaching, eating habits, and leisure time. That shows a very creative approach and a very innovative approach to the topic. Yeah, especially the point about the eating habits, I found really astonishing and really cool to find that eating habits improved during lockdown. Very important point about changing food habits in the Sri Lankan population.
Today is a day that we all waited for so long, and a historical moment for all of us at Whyteleafe. We at Whyteleafe always had and always lived with a dream to give something very special to our kids. But challenges are always there when making those dreams a reality. It is a fact that what we are about to present to you today is not very common and unfamiliar to many of you, including our beloved parents. However, after exactly 1 year and 8 months, my dear Whyteleafians, you have achieved a greater milestone.
Today marks a very special day to Whyteleafe and Sri Lanka, because we just successfully completed a significant event releasing 15 researches done by 20 young Sri Lankan children to the world. It was not at all an easy task, because doing research in social issues are usually considered to be done by adults. But we are a fortunate bunch of children because our Whyteleafe Academy founder, Mr. Nalaka Swarnatilaka, has bigger, bolder dreams and thoughts to guide us on the research subject. At a time the world was facing a huge pandemic issue with COVID-19, at a time we were stuck in our homes, Nalaka sir started to guide us on research field. My first and foremost gratitude goes to Nalaka sir and Whyteleafe for all the hard work done from the very first day till today. When we start a good thing, good people get together to support us. Dr. Sisira Vitanachi, Senior Researcher and Senior Lecturer at Kassel University, Germany. Sir, it was a blessing to learn the research subject under your guidance. Despite the time difference and amidst your busy schedule, you imparted a huge knowledge to us. On behalf of Whyteleafe, we greatly appreciate your priceless contribution, effort, and time. You will be fondly remembered in our journey of life because you made a huge difference in our lives. All the members of the distinguished panel, we are honored to present our research to this panel of international research experts. We are grateful for making your valuable time to listen to the children of Whyteleafe Academy, Sri Lanka. Your comments will definitely motivate us to mold ourselves into better researchers. The experience we got today will surely help us to become good future leaders tomorrow. We were so lucky to learn and work with Ms. Tharuchi Jayatilaka, our teacher at Whyteleafe, who tirelessly worked with us, helping from day one till today on simplifying a complex subject area, coordinating the work, reviewing our work, and also always motivating us in the most kindest way. It was a very nice experience working with passionate teachers like Tharushi Miss. Not only Tharushi Miss, but I also must thank Ms. Daushala Lekamvasam for supporting us throughout this program, doing all the technical work. Thank you, Imayaki, for comparing this event wonderfully. She is also one of the extraordinary Whyteleafians in our academy. Last but not least, our gratitude to all our Whyteleafe parents for your continuous support and standing behind us to go forward. finally, I wish all the young researchers to achieve greater heights in your lives.
Thank you very much for all of you, and it's really great time and opportunity to talk with you. So while in last 1.5 years we had a nice journey, but it's not nice, it's a difficult journey. I know that especially in people living in Sri Lanka are currently suffering with a lot of multiple effects, and after the COVID and the whole severe economic effects and school shutdowns, power cuts, and the basic necessities are not really on the place. So your parents are really struggling. Actually, the kids should, you know already that, so you feel that issue. So during with that such a hard conditions, we really appreciate you did a great job. So, and once again a big applause for all of you. And as our all experts, I would really like to thanks the all experts who give their valuable golden comments to you, and that's already helped you to develop, advance your research topic and research teams, maybe in a more different stage and different steps.
From Whyteleafe Academy.